great. And listen, gossip is necessary. But what I said to Cam was, you know what's worse than us shit talkers is you shit thinkers. You guys are just thinking shit all day. I'm like, you are not safe. Like you don't get to live. You just have all this judgment boiling up in your brain, just boiling. I'm like, and just I can't hold it inside. Like, what is happening? But I will say he's a great guy, and I also commend him for getting third place. He got further than me, and so for that, like, kudos. And if I could just, have held Mommy Chelsea and Mommy MJ's hand and then scooted all the way to the finish line, shoot, I would have done it too, but it just wasn't going to happen. So, but I love that for him.
Oh my gosh.
I love
People are wanting to know, and we probably can't because we don't know anything about Cam and Chelsea's relationship. I couldn't speak on it because I don't know anything.
I have no idea, honestly, at all.
People also wanted to know if we are both still talking with Joseph and outside of the house. And yes, I am.
Yes.
I had a conversation with Joseph.
I need to talk to him more.
So fun, like for an hour.
I should actually text him right now. I haven't, well, first of all, I just got a ce soir order. I would like to say thank you so much, guys. Shop
Oh my gosh. Definitely. I had people asking about your brand, Leah, all the time. They're like, how do you spell ce soir? I'm having to spell it for them. Leah, spell it for them so they know.
I'll show you guys right now.
Yes, show. She let me touch her underwear line, obviously not on her body, but she let me touch them, and they are literally like butter. They are so, so soft and wonderful. And I just love them. I love the high leg one with the full coverage.
So I have like, these are kind of beat
up. I love that nudie brown color that you have. That is so pretty.
This is
and
my
look at that packaging. Beautiful.
With the window in the back, love. So yeah, this is my packaging. I wonder, they're probably gonna get mad at me for saying anything about it, but
somebody on here just ordered the underwear just now.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
How do you know that? Do you get like
website notifications? Like, oh my God, Quinn is in the chat.
You guys, thank you.
These are an extra large for all of my chubby kings. But yeah, I mean,
somebody's asking how do they order them, Leah?
It's cesoir.com, CESOIR.com.
The softest thing to your body. Leah, tell them what you told me about like underwear, like why you're so passionate about it.
So basically I started it because I used to work at Hooters, and we had to wear 3 different layers of fabric, being like your tights, your underwear, and the spandex shorts. So you were kind of like suffocated, especially for women, like your private areas are suffocated. And all of the girls that I worked with always complained about their underwear. So I was like, okay, I should fix this problem, because also the gusset area, which is where your intimate area goes, is always way too thin. So I extended it to be made for women's bodies and not for mannequins. And I also just wanted to create underwear out of non-synthetic fabrics. So all of my underwear is, for the women's anyway, is lined with bamboo fabric, so that it's a natural fiber that doesn't cause any infections or anything like that. And then I also started to get into the men's, because I love to wear men's boxers around the house. I literally wear them 24/7. So I made my boxers unisex so that men, women, people of any gender can wear them and feel comfortable in their own skin. And also, I just wanted to create a brand that I'm proud of that solves issues for women's health. That was really important to me, and I really want to go into making PJs and stuff like that. But ultimately, it was for women's health, because the girls that I know struggled a lot with dealing with all of these synthetic fibers and stuff. And all of the underwear brands, being like Victoria's Secret and Aerie and all of these companies, were founded by men. So I wanted to own I own men's and women's, but I wanted to own an underwear company that was made by women for women. And then I just ended up falling into the men thing because I knew all the men in my life also didn't have underwear they felt comfortable in. So I just wanted to do that, and I wanted to solve a problem, and I found a manufacturer, and I sampled all of the products, and I freaking did it. So that is that.
A lot of the women on here are saying that bamboo is so breathable, it's so wearable, it feels so good, and there's a lot less issues. So yes. And I got to actually, like I said, I got to actually touch them, and they're so, so buttery soft, and I cannot wait to get my set. I'm so excited when they arrive. Leah, people are still asking, how do they order them?
Oh, it's siswa.com. I don't know how to like make
you have a link in your on your social media platforms.
I believe it's in my TikTok bio. It's definitely in my Instagram bio. So if you are looking, you can find my website on my Instagram bio. It's www.siswa.com. And yes, I also want to clear up that it is not white label. I make every single pair of underwear. My factory makes it, and it is not, I don't just stick my name on something unless I'm proud of it. So it's something that I worked on for years. I would like to say that, but it's in my Twitter bio, Instagram bio. My Instagram is Leah Peters with 2 S's at the end. And then that's that. Quinn's like, she's like that. Yeah, one of my favorites.
Well, I'm glad that we got to talk about it because I am very excited about it, and I'm excited for you, and I really want this beautiful business of yours to just flourish and be wonderful for you, Leah. You're so deserving, and I think any woman who purchases or man that purchase the underwear will be very pleased and happy and will want more, and that'll be all that'll be in their drawer because they can't go back to anything else. Exactly. So I'm glad that we got to talk about that. Yay. Somebody in the comments is asking me how Chuck is doing and how the grandkids are doing and how my kids are doing. So I want to quickly, because they've said it multiple times, I just want to say it. Chuck, how are you doing? Because he's over here in the office. You can just shout it out.
Sucks.
What do you mean?
I'm good.
He's good. He's good that I'm home.
Hi, Chuck.
Chuck, she says hi. Leah says hi.
Hi.
We had a conversation with Leah the other night. We had her on speaker, and Chuck and Leah got to talk back and forth a little bit. But the husband's good. He's happy to have me home. And the grandkids are here nearly every single day. And I couldn't be happier. Like, I miss them so, so bad. You guys know, I really, really did. It is hard. I know Leah can contest to this, that when you're away from your friends and family and you're literally leaning into people you don't know all the way and you don't know their motives, it's really hard. It's really, really hard. And you have to just kind of trust and go with your instincts. And for me to trust and to lean into Leah was absolutely the right thing to do. I think she has already said that, I don't know what either of us would have done without the other, especially since I know Quinn was, and Joseph also, and Mackenzie. I mean, you had close people that you had close to you, Leah. But for me, I really did lean into you for that. And I appreciate you so, so much. You were my family away from home, and you remain my family at home. So I love you, Leah.
I love you. I had such a great time. I had such a great time talking to you and Chuck on the phone. I just really adore you and your whole family. Like, what a absolutely outstanding group of people.
Our families were talking to each other while we were in the house. Like my daughters and my
literally Christine and Danny were talking.
Your sister. It was amazing.
It's absolutely, and that really just like brought me to the ground. Like, I think it is just insane that one of my largest worries within the house was, how everyone was going to handle being outside of the house and how the public was going to perceive everyone, because you just have no idea the way that you are being painted. And it is just so overwhelming to think about going from being in this freaking little rat cage to being out in the real world again with all of your, all of this stimuli. And I was just so terrified. And whenever I came out of the house and saw the way that Danny said, absolutely adore Christine. I do too. And I just I literally fell to the ground crying, seeing the positive response from everybody on the outside. Like, it was just so overwhelming. And whenever Lexi told us that that Christine and Danny were talking, like, it was just so incredible. And it made me like, so I don't know, like I felt feelings that I just felt so seen, and it was so incredible to see everybody get along.
Someone is asking, I think this is a really good question. Someone's asking you, like, did you know that you were playing that good, that great of a social game? Like, did you know that in the house?
I literally
I asked you that too in Jury House a little bit. Like, I knew your social game was like spot on, spotless. Like, it was so, so good. They're wanting to know if you knew that.
I had no idea that I was playing a good social game at all. I really was just being myself and trying to relate to people as much as I could. And like, whenever, I just really wanted to first and foremost connect with everyone and build a relationship with them, because I feel like that would have created a bond that would make them, want to keep me there. And I didn't even do it out of that reason, because I don't really like to do anything in my life to get anything in return. I genuinely just was trying to be myself and relate with people. That's just how I am in the real world. Like, I really just I just build relationships with people, and I talk with them, and it's very important to me to get to know people on a very deep level and hear them out. And I was just trying to be myself, because I feel like that's the only thing that really works in the house. It's very hard to completely play a character all the time. Like, I always say, like, it's better to tell the truth, because then you don't have to remember anything. But
I could never really lie to you. Too hard.
Yeah,
too hard. Even when I knew Mackenzie was putting you on the block, I just couldn't. I went to bed. I couldn't look at you. I couldn't talk to you. I was distraught. I just couldn't. I just didn't want to lie to you.
I really just like, I had no idea that I was playing a great social game. I was shocked whenever I made it past week 1. Like, I always say, like, I won the second I walked into the house. Like, I had no idea I was going to last that long. Like, whenever I realized I made it to jury, I was like, what the heck is going on? Like, I was trying my best. I got to know the game way better inside the house, because even watching Big Brother, like, I never really understood completely what the game was. So I was just playing it to my my best capabilities, and I'm grateful for everyone who says that I had a great social game. Even when Quinn would tell me in the house, I'd be like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you're just saying that. Like, I don't think.
I think too, Leah, I think your cooking won people over. I know it did for me, and I know it did for most of the people in the house. Nobody wanted to lose that either. That was something that you gave from your heart. And I would ask Leah, I would say, Leah, can I please help you? Like, it would give me something to do too. But I also knew, because you told me it was something that made you feel human and normal, that's something you enjoyed to do outside of the house, is cook and just like make things from scratch. And it was just a way for you to kind of escape what was going on in the house. And you did it so well. I mean, even making homemade Pop-Tarts. Like, your food is so good. And I'm a foodie. I know everybody knows it, because I love my charcuterie boards and all of that business. But it just goes without saying, like, you fed people's souls with your food, Leah. It was so, so good. And just watching the master at work in the kitchen, it also, when you were cooking, it was a chance for me to sit down and just like talk with you and watch, and I learned. Like, I came home and I told Chuck, like, food is not going to be bland anymore up in this bitch. Like, I'm going to cook really good things. I'm going to cook things that you're going to enjoy, and you're going to be like sitting there watching and smelling and salivating. Chuck's very excited about that. He just said, thank you, Leah. I made eggs already and seasoned them. And he's like, whoa, I've never seasoned eggs with anything more than salt, pepper, and butter. And he's like, whoa, you're putting garlic and cheese and like all these other seasonings. He's so excited. It's so, so good. And honestly, watching the master at work cooking, I hope for you, Leah, because I know you love cooking, that you get like a cooking show or something, because you're so deserving. If anybody is on here has a connection for Leah to be on a cooking show, like, what are you waiting for? Reach out. Please. Like, Leah's lunches, like something. Leah's luncheon. I mean, she needs something like that, because not only can she cook, but she can multitask. She can cook, she can clean, and she can keep you entertained with all of that. So that really helped me in the house, just to feel normal and have like, good things happening. And quite honestly, the only thing to do in the house, because there's so much freaking downtime, you're not hustling around trying to talk and strategy all day long, you guys. That would be so exhausting. We all did that the first 2 weeks, and that was just like, it's just too much. It's very weight bearing on your chest, on your psyche. Like, you really do need to have things that make you feel normal. And Leah's cooking was absolutely delicious, fun to watch, fun to eat. And eating in the house is a big deal. Like, it is like, it's like everything. We all ate a lot. I have already dropped like 10 pounds being out of that house. Like, it's crazy. I mean, every night somebody was freaking cooking cookies. Like, every single night.
Every night. So many cookies. But
Why?
you're perfect.
Why?
You're perfect just the way you are. But
oh, I know, but I'm feeling healthier. It's not necessarily a size thing for me. It's just like, I'm just kind of putting a point out there. Like, I just enjoyed so much eating the cooking and the food. It was definitely a pastime. It was something that just like kind of helps move time along. Somebody also was asking in here, Leah, and I would love to hear your idea about this, and then I'll share mine. But like, they're saying, what would it take to get on Big Brother? What's your advice? And then once you're there, what would be the best strategy for them?
Mm-hmm. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for talking about my cooking. You know, cooking is my piece. I absolutely love to cook. I always have since I was really young. I'm self-taught because I already know everybody's going to ask where I learned in the chat. I'm self-taught. My grandmothers both cook. I have an Italian grandmother and a Polish grandmother. Both of them cook Italian and Polish cuisine. But I'm all self-taught. I taught myself. And it's something that just brings me peace. In the Big Brother house, like Angela said, there are so few moments that you get to really just, you're never able to relax, by the way, at all. There's no such thing as relaxing in the house. Oh my goodness. I just did something scary. And
I'll answer the call for traders. Somebody said.
And I would absolutely love to have a cooking show. I freaking love Chopped. I love everything Food Network. I always watched Food Network as a kid. I absolutely love it. If they did anyone ever wanted me to cook anything for them on TV, I would 100% do it. I would fly there right now. But in the house, I'm just the kind of person that I need my alone time to recharge. Like, as much as I'm an extroverted person, I'm pretty ambiverted. So like, I also have that introverted side. And for me, the time in the kitchen was my time to escape and get out of the game talk and really just kind of find peace and normalcy and create a routine. Posey, please. She's like climbing in my Big Brother box. Come here. You're so bad.
People are saying they miss watching you cook on the feeds, Leah.
Oh, I need to just start a freaking I need to just start it. But I absolutely love to cook. And then as far as what I would say to people trying to get on the show, you know what I would say, guys, is that you are a lot more interesting than you think. No matter what you think about yourself and or others, like, there's nothing different about any of you than me and Angela. Like, the only difference is we had an opportunity and we took it. If you want to get on the show, I would say really just try to have like self-reflect, talk to your friends and family about, you know, a few funny stories, try to harness the qualities of your personality. Like, ask yourselves, you know, a few different things, like, what are 5 things that, you know, people wouldn't really guess about you? Or really just the one thing that we noticed about our season was it was like, I always said, like, there's more than meets the AI, right? Because it's like everybody had such, you know, polarizing sides of them, like, and that you would have never guessed. So I think that it's important to zone in on those things that are different about you that people might not guess about you when they first see you. And we all have those things, like, because, you know, you can't judge a book by its cover. So in my eyes, that's one of the things that I would say. And also, persistence is key. Angela made like 100 million funny emails to get on.
Not 100 million, Leah. Come on.
She was like world's kookiest Nana 2026 to get on the show. I'm just kidding. I just came up with that.
You're not kidding. It's truth. So for me, I'm going to give you a little nitty gritty right now. They say, casting anyway, they say, don't turn in more than 1 submission because we'll get to it. Well, you know what? This woman turned 50 freaking years old. And I was like, I'm getting on this freaking show. What's it going to take? I'm doing it at age 50. Like, I'm doing it. And so, you know, there are I Googled it. There are 30 to 40,000 applicants every freaking season So I'm like, how? Like, no. So I definitely did a lot, and I would come up with these really funny like emails. I'd be like, one badass nana at yahoo.com, or just like whatever. And then definitely key is in the subject line, make it something very like out the door. Like your foot's going to be in the door with that subject line. You want them to want to open up your email. You want that. So make sure that you're very strategic with that and give them something that is like, they got to know more. They got to know more about you. Definitely, like Leah said, be yourself, because the game is so crazy the way they put this piece, I'd imagine they probably have this big board and they've got like their top, 100. And they're trying to piece together this magnificent, beautiful disaster of a puzzle where these people are going to interact, and they know already that some of them are going to have conflict or whatever. So you need to be authentically yourself, so that way you fit into that puzzle piece that they're looking for. Because you know what they say, if you marry somebody and the honeymoon phase is constantly like the same, the honeymoon phase ends very quickly. You can't act like somebody you're not, And I told them when I was in the early process that I am the girl that's in the room that will say what everyone else is thinking out freaking loud, because I don't have a problem with it. Like, I don't have a problem with really just speaking my truth, or just really being honest with people. And like my daughters always tell me, you're going to get my opinion whether you like it or not. I'm not normally rude. I really am not. But I will say things out loud. And I did tell funny stories. I mean, you have to give them yourself on steroids in sort of a way. Like think of those most embarrassing moments. Think of those most amazing stories. Think about a trip you took and what happened and how it always stands out in your life. Give them the bookmarks for sure. And those bullet points that make you unique, that make you, that stand out. And I promise you, that's all it's going to take. And it may not be this year. I have tried for years. But your year is coming if you just keep knocking at the door. They're going to have to open it eventually. So that is my advice.
And that's a great point that you just mentioned as well, because, I'll mention it again, but persistence is so key. And if you didn't get picked for this season or next season, it doesn't mean that you're not good enough or you're not cool enough or anything like that. What it really means is that it's not your time yet. And I really believe that things happen exactly when they're supposed to. No one can take anything away from you that you're meant to have. And as long as you're authentically yourself, and like Angela said, whenever they're putting that puzzle piece together, you will find your way in. And whenever it's the right cast that's all, put together, that's your time. Like you really don't want to be on, and they know exactly what they're doing. And my goodness, do they do an incredible job. It's so incredible. All of the similarities that our cast had, all of the similar views that we had, and all of just like the ways that they made sure that in some respect, all of us would be able to find common ground to some degree. And I really think that they do an incredible job of putting together a group of people. And I think that being yourself ultimately, and, like I said, I think this process really made me self-reflect more than I have in a very long time. And I was so grateful for that, because I was sitting here to myself, like, what are fun facts about me? Like, what are funny stories that I've told, or what are funny things that have happened to me? Sometimes, when someone's asking you a question like that on the spot, so what makes you different? It's like all of a sudden,
it's hard to talk about yourself.
Your brain's empty. Yeah. So I was really convinced that I was not this stereotypical reality person that they were going to want. And I really never thought until I stepped foot into that freaking house, I was convinced that I didn't get it. I was like, there's no way. And all of my friends are like, no, you're going to get it. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. And I think that it's a good idea always to just know who you are, reflect on yourself and what you've been through and all of the things that make you, you. And whenever you can finally harness all of those things, put them all on a piece of paper, or at least a few of them. Like, you don't have to know every single thing about yourself, but just a few little fun qualities about yourself, a few words that describe yourself, and then it all really will help you move on from there.
Definitely. Very, very good advice. Very sound advice. a lot of people, I'm not sure if it's a lot of people or just one person keeps saying it, but I want to address it. They're saying that Tucker came out of nowhere like week 3. Like how I would love to give my perspective on Tucker a little bit. And then you go, Leah. I want to say this. When we were going to go into the Big Brother house, we were all lined up and we were facing forward. We couldn't talk. We really couldn't see each other's faces so much because we were lined in a straight line. And I could see Tucker in front of me, and he literally kept making little side jokes and talking when he shouldn't have been. And I'm like, who is this jokester? Who is coming into this house? And I didn't have too much conversation with him other than a meet and greet when we first got inside. And he was already laughing and already just making wisecracks. And I thought, okay, so here's, you're already kind of labeling people yourself. Like you're putting them in a category almost like, okay, so here's the jokester. And so I thought he was just going to be the jokester all season. And he kind of was, but kind of not. And so I think I didn't really have an idea of who Tucker was until we were all kind of hanging out in the bathroom and he was in the shower. And Leah was addressing with the group about people, like her dating lives and her experiences and kind of what she would expect from a partner or somebody that she's dating. And to hear Tucker go and say that he would take his first date out and get a 6-pack and just go to the park. And we're like, what? Like that might work for some, and it might work for him because he is a very good looking guy and he's very charismatic and all that. But I was just rolling. I was laughing because here's this grown man, and this is the kind of date. He's not just turned 21 where he can go and finally officially buy beer. Like he's going to go take this woman that he asked on a date to the park with a 6-pack. And I just thought, oh my gosh. And then from there, when he was playing the games and everything, I quickly realized too, not only was he funny and fun to listen to, but then that he was such a comp beast. I mean, he literally was a comp beast. He really was. And I think that he was somebody that I felt, for myself anyway, that he could be much of a protector because I didn't know how I was going to fare in a lot of the games. And I really knew part of my strategy going into the game